The opening section of this week's Seder, Parashat Ki Tavo, takes us to a fascinating ritual, that of Bikurim. The farmer who had succeeded in growing some new crops was commanded to bring the first fruits to Yerushalayim, to Jerusalem, to a wonderful ritual in the temple, giving thanks for the blessings that Hashem had given him. And when he arrives at the temple, basket in hand, full of beautiful fruits, he makes a speech. And that speech is familiar to all of us because they are the verses that thankfully capture the essence of our journey into slavery in Egypt and our eventual freedom that the rabbis found fit to include in the Haggadah. Instead of asking us to read 15 chapters from the book of Shemot, these few verses capture the whole story quite succinctly. There's one part of the story that is debated, and on Seder night we take it in one direction, but it's not clear. The farmer says, Arami Oved Avi. Now, on Seder night, we use that phrase that an Aramean, who we would say is Lavan, tried to destroy Yaakov, and he was worse than Paro, and we play with the verses in a particular fashion. It could mean that our ancestors were wandering Arameans, and we were homeless, and then we had slavery, and it was awful, and then eventually Hashem took us out, and now, blessed is Hashem, I'm a farmer in the land of Israel, and here are my blessings, and I want to give thanks. Now, the very first time the farmer would have said this speech would have been a very emotional moment, connecting to the history of the Jewish people, the difficulties, and looking at his current situation, a free individual living in sovereign Israel. Fantastic. What an amazing moment to think how fortunate this person was compared to many of our ancestors. But how would that have felt the second year or the third year or by year 15? Oh, here we go again, reading the speech, getting it out of the way so we can go back home and enjoy those crops. And this is a problem that we all find with davening. It could be the first day of a Yom Tov. The prayer feels so exciting because we haven't done them for several months, or maybe even the beginning of a Shabbat davening. But then soon it turns into rote and it's repetition, and we did this before, and we lose that thrill. Towards the end of the Seder, we have a long list of awful curses that, God forbid, will come about for non-compliance with the Torah's rules. And the rabbis say, why do we read the Seder now, before the end of the year? Because we want to get the curses, we want to get all the negativity out of the way before we start a brand new year. But it occurred to me at the start of the Seder, we've also got a message. At the end of one year, we want to count our blessings. We want to really take a moment to feel connected to the good things in our lives. But there's a danger in counting our blessings that we can just do so in a robotic way. So this farmer who comes year after year, well, the message from Bikurim must surely be, yes, you've been blessed, and there are rituals that you have to go through. But if those rituals are going to be meaningful, if you're going to really feel that there's the hand of God has touched your life in a positive way, and you want to express that, then the duty comes to find depth of meaning and relevance year after year. We're going to ask Hashem in a few weeks' time for a new year. Hashem says, think about that Bikurim. That farmer, to have done it properly, would have really had to connect. You want another year? What are the blessings that I've given you this year? Do you really appreciate it? How do you do so? Don't let it be robotic. Don't let it be repetitive. Find depth and passion and freshness in everything we do. Don't let the rituals become stale and boring. And if you can achieve that, then K'tiva v'chatima tova, I'm going to sign you in for another year because I can trust you. You're going to make use of the blessing of life, the blessings I give you for the very, very best possible way. Shabbat Shalom.